So Canelo Alvarez is set to defend his WBC and WBA Super-Middleweight World Titles against Avni Yildirim on Saturday night. I'm going to give my thoughts on the fight. Obviously, Avni Yildirim is a big underdog, but I mean, I didn't realise Avni Yildirim is a lot bigger than Canelo. And I know we say this every time Canelo fights a guy that's bigger than him. Wow, they're so much taller than him, and they look so much stronger than him. But Canelo, even at that short height that he's at, which, you know, he's only about 5'8", you know, so being a super middleweight is quite a big stretch for him. But the guy he chops them down. That's what he does. Canelo chops them down. He goes to the body, rips up the body, comes back up to the head. I mean, you look at what he done to Callum Smith. Callum Smith is a big guy. I mean, you see him now, Callum Smith, I believe he's moving up to light heavyweight. For Canelo to do what he did to Callum Smith, I mean, Canelo bust up Callum Smith's arm. Bust him up, man. And this is what I'm saying about Canelo, like, the guy don't care. Yeah? He's in the 168 weight class. To be honest, he's probably a bit too small for that. Middleweight is probably his sort of natural weight. Super middleweight, he's probably eating some high protein foods for that. But yeah, so going into the actual analysis of the fight, I think Canelo's just gonna come in, do what he does usually. You know, he's gonna try and go to the body, attack the body in the early rounds. He's gonna, as usual, sort of be a front foot counter puncher. He's got a lot of different styles all combined into one. You look at the way he fought against Danny Jacobs, he used a lot of head movement. You look at the way he fought against Callum Smith, because Callum Smith was so defensive and so on the back foot, Canelo just rocked forward like a pressure fighter. The guy could do everything. I mean, you could call him a boxer puncher to some extent, because he's just got every skill in a book, basically. So yeah, I think Canelo will, in the early rounds, put some water in the basement, as Teddy Atlas says, and go to Yildirim's body. These guys have sparred before, so I don't think it's going to be a cagey start to the fight. I mean, obviously, maybe the first round, but I don't think it's going to be like a... I think there's going to be some good exchanges from the first round of the fight. Going on to Yildirim, I think Yildirim needs to avoid making the mistakes that Callum Smith did, and that being just tucking up all the time. Because the thing with Canelo is, if you tuck up, Canelo's just going to rip your body. And see, that's why you don't tuck up. See, with Canelo, I think the people that have had the most success against him, like Floyd Mayweather, like Lara, like Gennady Golovkin, they've timed him. They haven't just, you know, tucked up and let Canelo rip their body and send shots to their arms, their elbows, everything like that. They've timed him with counter punches, etc. Like, you know what I mean? So this is what Yildirim's gonna have to do. I'm not sure if Yildirim's got a very good counter punching ability, but he's got to time his shots and try and catch Canelo coming in. Because I mean, Canelo is the smaller guy, but Canelo is a very strong, powerful, like, small guy. You look what he done to Callum Smith. He shouldn't be able to push Callum Smith back, but he's that strong that he did. So, you know, Yildirim's got to be smart about this. He can't just... I mean, I see his manager just talking about, if it comes to exchanging in the centre of the ring, it's a 50-50 fight. And there is some truth to that. But has Yildirim got the power to trouble Canelo? I'm not too sure about that. Because Canelo's probably got one of the best chins in boxing, maybe the best chin in boxing. So I'm not too sure whether Yildirim has that kind of power to trouble Canelo in a 50-50 exchange. I think it's probably more the other way around, but we'll have to see in the fight. So yeah, for Yildirim, I'd just say avoid tucking up too much. I think Yildirim's got to try and just land some work, man. Don't be afraid of Canelo, because I think too many guys, they're afraid of Canelo. They respect him too much. They give him too much respect in the ring. You need to be, maybe as well with Canelo, a little bit dirty. And listen, I ain't advocating cheating, but you've got to have some kind of element of bullying in there if you're going to beat Canelo. If you're the bigger guy and you're in there with Canelo, you got to try and bully the guy, because if not, the guy will bully you. Simple as. So maybe some kind of not low blows or nothing like that, but just like tie him up. Tie Canelo up. See, this is as well. This is what I don't see enough fighters doing against Canelo. They never tie him up. Why not? This is what they need to do against Canelo. Whenever he's there trying to get his shots off, tie him up. If you can't tie him up, try and counter him. Try and time him. So, yeah, but if I'm going to, you know, now give my prediction, what I actually think is going to happen in the fight, I'm going to go with Canelo by stoppage. I don't think Canelo will stop him early. I think Yildirim will be very up for this fight. This is a life-changing opportunity for him. He's not going to come here to lie down. Maybe Canelo will stop him in the mid to late rounds. I don't think he's going to stop him early like Chris Eubank Jr. did. Chris Eubank Jr., you know, maybe he's not got as much power as Canelo, but he's a much more sort of aggressive fighter and a bit more wild with his style. Whereas Canelo is a bit more methodical. You know, there's more thought that goes into Canelo's work, I believe, than the likes of Chris Eubank Jr. So I believe it might take Canelo a few rounds to sort of break Yildirim down, and then in the mid to late rounds, Canelo will stop him. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the fight, guys. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from you. What do you think about the fight? Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And remember to turn on post notifications to stay notified whenever I upload a new video.